Broncos, and the AFC playoff bracket is locked in. The Chargers are the 5 seed. They will go to Jacksonville next week. And welcome to the broadcast booth alongside the Hall of Famer James Lofton. I'm Andrew Catalan. The Ravens lose. The Chargers are the 5 seed. So if you're Brandon Staley, do you play it differently now today?
He told us that he wouldn't. I asked him, I said, you have 2 sets of cards in your hands. One set with all the starters, the other set with some of the backups playing. He wouldn't reveal to us. He had a poker face the entire meeting. Amazing. Guy was pretty impressive playing it straight-faced.
We expect to see Justin Herbert come out and start the game. That's what we asked him. Specifically, if the Ravens lose, is Herbert your starting quarterback? He kind of chuckled and said, why you asking that, Andrew? But felt like we had to ask that question, and that's what we're expecting to see. Now, we are expecting to see this first play from scrimmage be a delay of game. And now we are seeing both teams locking arms and coming out to the field. Both number 3s, Russell Wilson and Derwin James, wearing the same jersey number as Damar Hamlin. A show of solidarity between the Broncos and the Chargers. Both number 3s, Derwin James and Russell Wilson, holding up the number 3 in honor of Damar Hamlin. Something the teams talked about before the game. They were all in agreement that they would take a delay of game penalty before the first play from scrimmage, and whoever was on defense would decline the penalty, and that's exactly what happened. Well, we showed you the beautiful moment with Russell Wilson and Derwin James coming out. The Damar Hamlin tributes have been prevalent here today in pregame warm-ups. Everyone wearing those t-shirts, a big number 3 with Damar on the scoreboard, and this was the moment we showed you. Very powerful here in Denver just a moment ago. NFL Today update in New York. JB and Bill Cowher.
San Francisco playing hard.
Yeah, the Brock Purdy story continues to impress. He's going to find Christian McCaffrey right here on the screen, and that man will do the rest. 21 yards, and San Francisco takes a 7-6 lead over Arizona.
Back to Andrew and James.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Royal Caribbean. This is all the vacations come seek. Allstate, reminding you that football is mayhem. And by Visa. Anyone can change the game with the power of Visa.
Back in Denver on a gorgeous day, the Broncos looking for their 300th career victory at home, and a good start here on their opening drive. Russell Wilson shaking hands with every member of that offense after a 13-play, 75-yard drive. On Tuesday, Broncos defensive lineman Mike Purcell surprised a local veteran, Neil Jordan, with Super Bowl tickets during a VIP tour at UC Health Training Center. Neil, a 30-year Air Force veteran, retired as the Command Chief Master Sergeant while stationed at Buckley Air Force Base in Colorado. As we move closer to the Super Bowl, the AFC playoff picture is set. Still some things to be determined on the NFC side. NFL Today update. Let's go back to New York.
Philly looking to wrap it up, Bill.
Yeah, they win and they get the number 1 seed. Boston Scott will take this from 8 yards out. Jalen Hurts is still in the game, and Philly leads 10-0 over the New York Giants.
Back to Andrew Catalan. James Lofton.
He gets to the 16 after a good-looking opening drive for the Broncos, James.
Yeah, Russell Wilson had a couple completions. He had some runs with his legs, moving the ball around, and Latavius Murray kind of did some of the heavy lifting once he got down near the end zone. So I'd love to reverse to Jerry Jeudy, who's going in motion So now you pay that off by giving them the ball coming in motion on that reverse. And like I said, Latavius Murray showing people how it gets done down in the end zone.
Here is the complete AFC playoff bracket. It's all finalized. The Chargers will go to Jacksonville next week. Baltimore and Cincinnati will meet in a rematch of today's Bengals win, and the Dolphins get in as the 7th and final seed. They will go to Buffalo next week. Start of the second quarter, Chargers and Broncos tied at 7. Back in the broadcast booth with James Lofton, I'm Andrew Catalon. And how about the quarterback matchup next week? Justin Herbert against Trevor Lawrence. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And Bill Cowher.
Washington will like nothing better.
Watch here, you're going to see Dak Prescott throw you out, but Kendall Fuller will step inside, pick it off, go in for a pick 6 from 28 yards out, and miss the extra point. The Washington Commanders 13, Dallas nothing.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. Amazon. Spend less, smile more. And by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Please gamble responsibly.
There's our buddy, Parker the Snow Dog. He loves this time of year, James.
Where else would you rather be if you were Parker the Snow Dog than in the snow?
Coincidentally, our spotter, John McCarthy, also did that yesterday in the streets of Denver. Last Sunday, Art McNally passed away at the age of 97. Mr. McNally served as an NFL official for 9 seasons before becoming the league's director of officiating in 1968. He remained an active member of the NFL family until he retired in 2015 and is considered a key figure in implementing the use of instant replay. Mr. McNally was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame last summer.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Wagoneer. Live a grand dream. And by Verizon. The network you deserve. The savings that last.
Beautiful day in Denver. NFL Today update, JB and Bill Cowher.
Bill, you've complimented the Rams' play.
Yeah, the Rams are playing hard with nothing to play for. This is Tutu Atwell on the reverse from 11 yards out, giving the Rams a 13-6 lead over Seattle. Seattle needs to win to stay alive right now. Otherwise, they lose. It comes down to Green Bay and Detroit tonight.
Back to Andrew Catalon.
Need to end this first half. Back and forth we go, and at the break, it is Los Angeles 17 and Denver 17. Halftime is coming up next after these first half highlights from Verizon and a word from your local station.
What's up, Einstein?
My network has gone kaput.
You tried to save a buck on it?
I got what I paid for. Not so smart.
Nah, you're still a genius. But there is a smarter way to save.
Oh.
Switch to Verizon. For a limited time, get Welcome Unlimited for just $25 a line.
$25?
And it's guaranteed for 3 years.
Brilliant!
Well, you would know.
I'm switching.
I think the bike's probably faster.
Now is the best time to switch to Verizon for just $25 a line, guaranteed for 3 years. The savings that last on the network you want. Verizon.
The Grammys, live Sunday, February 5th on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
CBS Sports presents the Verizon Halftime Report.
And welcome back to our New York studio and the Verizon Halftime Report. It is the network that America relies on. JB back here with Boomer, Nate, Coach, and Phil. And folks, we get at it.
All right, let's start with a game that a lot of people were watching, Patriots Bills. The tweet of the day comes from DeMar Hamlin. Just simple. Game time. And it was. Nyheim Hines takes this one back 101 yards. It's his second kickoff return of the day. The Bills win this one 35-23. And here's Josh Allen on why the number 3 had a special meaning today.
It was just spiritual, man. I was going around and I was going around my team saying, God's real. Like, you can't draw that one up, write that one up any better. And I was just told by Kevin Kearns, it's been 3 years and 3 months. Since the last kickoff return, so it's pretty cool.
And there's Josh Allen getting choked up, some happy tears. And those are the same happy tears that we all felt when we heard the great news about Damar Hamlin. In football, there's the coaches, the players, but like we saw today with the Bills, divine intervention.
No question.
Great day for the Buffalo Bills and really for all the NFL and Damar Hamlin.
Yeah.
And we look at the scores here. The New York Giants down 16-0 to the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts, solid first half. Giants, not a lot of starters on the offensive side, struggling just a little bit.
San Francisco 49ers, Brock Purdy, 2 more touchdown passes. And early, the story is this is J.J. Watt's last game in the NFL. He's got a sack today. J.J. Watt, thank you for everything you've done for the game.
All right, NFC playoff picture, guys. If the Eagles win, they'll hold on to the #1 spot and the NFC East lead. Dallas will be slotted in the 5 seed. The Giants are locked into the 6 seed. Remember, San Francisco if they win, they'll get to the 2 seed. Seattle's playing right now. They're losing 13-6 to the Rams. If Green Bay wins tonight, they are in. All right, AFC, we have the matchups for next week. The schedule will be announced by the NFL later on tonight as to which network and what time these games are going to take place. You can see it. These are all with the exception, like the Chargers are playing right now, as we all know, 17-17 is halftime here. They don't really have anything to play for because they know they're going to Jacksonville next weekend.
You do, and I think in games like this, and I've been a part of games like this, you really don't game plan. I think the biggest thing you want to do is keep it simple and let the guys get a feel for the speed of the game. I would be surprised if they finish this second half. The result of this is not going to change anything. They're going to Jacksonville next week, and the last thing I'd want to do is lose my quarterback or a big star player right now in the second half of a meaningless game.
I saw those matchups for the games next week. Baltimore and Cincinnati. Oh, my gosh.
How about
After
that?
Today, contentious, tough, rough. Next week, John Harbaugh is going to throw all those cards down for him. I think it's going to be fun to watch.
AFC North brawl.
Right. Who's playing quarterback?
loving it.
Yes, but who's playing quarterback for the Ravens?
Good
I can
question.
tell you, 2 6'6" quarterbacks in Jacksonville next week that are pretty damn good.
Yeah,
The
right about that.
Verizon halftime report continues.
CBS Sports presents the Verizon Halftime Report. The network you deserve. The savings that last. CBS Friday.
We have an inmate firefighter who's fallen over the bridge.
Time Report. The network you deserve. The savings that last.
Back in Denver, where it is halftime, tied at 17. We'll be back with the start of the second half after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
A new So Help Me time.
Want more stats? Just ask Siri. Who leads the league in interceptions?
Back in Denver, start of the second half between the Chargers and the Broncos. And back in the broadcast booth with the Hall of Famer James Lofton, I'm Andrew Catalan. Mike Williams, a back injury in the second quarter. His return is questionable, and there's a lot of people questioning Brandon Staley about his decision to play his starters right now. How would you handle this second half, James?
When you are a head coach, you're going to face those decisions. You play your starters, somebody gets nicked up a little bit, hopefully, and it's just a little bit, you're going to take some criticism. But what you're looking at how is this going to affect you next week and possibly the week after that as you try and make a playoff run. Because Brandon Staley had talked to us about the fact that what he was concerned about was he had been on a team in Chicago and they had rested guys. And then they came out flat, lost the first playoff game. Mike Williams on that cart doesn't look real good. I would much rather have seen him walking in there. But he did take a big shot in the back on a short pass that he caught. So that concerns me. Mike Williams, you never want to see one of your star players coming off that gimpy going into the locker room.
No, and there's the danger of playing your starters in a game like this. Hopefully Mike Williams is okay. Again, we're being told his return is questionable, but after you see that video, I have a feeling we're not going to see Williams the rest of the day. Herbert has the helmet on, but it will be Denver football to begin the second half. Again, the Chargers By virtue of the Ravens' loss earlier today, locked into the 5 seed. Nothing can change based on the outcome of this one against the Broncos. As we take a look at the first half numbers and the Chargers, a lot of success on third down. Denver offensively did not do much until that last drive that covered 3 plays and 75 yards.
You know, you always talk about playing a 60-minute game. Well, you got to play a 30-minute first half, and you're right. For the first 29 minutes, it didn't seem like Denver was doing a lot. In that last 30 seconds, Russell Wilson, a couple big passes, got him in the end zone.
Touchback. Saturday, more college basketball coming your way on CBS. A fantastic Big Ten matchup between 14th ranked Wisconsin and number 15 Indiana. It all begins at 12:30 with our Inside College Basketball crew. Saturday on CBS. Next week between the Chargers and Jaguars. Back in week 3, they met in Los Angeles, and it was a blowout. The Jaguars rolled the Chargers 38-10. Trevor Lawrence had 3 touchdown passes in that game. So the rematch will be in Jacksonville. There's Joey Bosa. This was the scene back in September, that week 3 matchup. Trevor Lawrence, 262 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. Justin Herbert had a touchdown and an interception. One of the big factors in that game was rushing yards. The Jaguars rushed for 151 yards, while the Chargers only had 26 yards rushing.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Progressive, the right call to protect your home and car. Expedia, made to travel. And by Chipotle, for real.
These two teams playing on a new field that was put in this week. The Broncos organization didn't feel that the field conditions were up to their standards. Number of events here coupled with the winter weather as Wilson is throwing deep on first down. He's got Judy down there. Judy's got it. But give credit to the Broncos ownership group, the Walton Penner family ownership group. Greg Penner, Carrie Walton Penner, Rob Walton, Condoleezza Rice also there on the left. She's part of this ownership group. It was a $400,000 cost to replace the field for just this one game. It'll be a brand new field by the time the Broncos start next season, but they thought it was worth that investment, and they continue to show they will spare no expense. That pass is picked off.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Consumer Cellular.
Back in Denver, Broncos have a 24-20 lead. Having some fun here at Empower Field at Mile High. Russell Wilson, 2 touchdown passes, 1 interception, and Denver's about to get the football back. Catch at the 12. Back to New York. NFL Today update. JB and Bill Cowher.
San Fran in number 2. Sounds good, Bill.
Yeah, Brock Purdy's pulling it on right here. He's got 3 touchdown passes, 2 right here to George Kittle, and San Francisco leads 38-13.
Back to Andrew and James.
Back to New York. NFL Today update.
Throw the records out with these two teams.
Yeah, divisional opponents. You're going to see Sam Howell keep the ball right here on the RPO. He's going to score from 9 yards out. Washington Commanders 20, the Dallas Cowboys 6.
James Lofton knows all about that. Andrew Catalan and James.
It's a party here at Empower Field at Mile High. Broncos lead the Chargers 24-20. Ball at the 6-yard line as we begin the 4th quarter. Alongside James Lofton, I'm Andrew Catalan. Our entire crew, producer Steve McKee, director Andy Goldberg. We thank you for joining us for Week 18 of the NFL on CBS. Bounds As we welcome you to the broadcast booth with James, I'm Andrew. What are you looking for from a Denver perspective here in the fourth quarter? Can a win really give them a boost going into the offseason, or is everything starting fresh?
It certainly can. Jerry Rosberg, the interim head coach, said that he wants these players to feel good about themselves, to feel good about the experience. And I talked to him on the field before the game. I said, are you going to have fun today? He said, no, I'm going to try and win the game today. So there's a huge difference, and he understands how precious. He mentioned that these games are important to these players and how they'll look at it in their career and say, oh, I remember that game at the end of the 2022 season and how we felt.
Intended for Cortland Sutton. NFL Today update, JB and Bill Cowher.
Giants still in it, Bill.
They're not going anywhere. Davis Webb's going to take this quarterback draw and go 14 yards. They tried a 2-point, but it failed. Right now, it's Philadelphia 19 and the Giants 9. Philadelphia trying to secure the #1 seed.
Back to Andrew Catalan.
Third down coming up. With James Lofton, our rules analyst Gene Steratore, our entire crew, I'm Andrew Catalan. We thank you for joining us. Week 18 of the NFL on CBS. Final game for our crew this year. And the Broncos trying to close it out on a winning note. Well, these two teams met back in week 6, and they went to overtime at SoFi Stadium. Russell Wilson to Greg Dulcich, a 39-yard receiving touchdown. Eckler countered with a 6-yard score, but then Montrell Washington lost the punt in overtime. It led to the game winner from Dustin Hopkins. Millen, NFL Today update. Let's go back to New York.
A big Rams defensive stop.
Yeah, on 3rd and goal, you're going to see Kenneth Walker get stopped right here by Taylor Rapp of the LA Rams. They had to settle for a field goal. The game is now tied. Rams 16, Seattle 16.
Andrew and James.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Little Caesars, the official pizza sponsor of the NFL. Pizza Pizza. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. And by Verizon, the network you deserve, the savings that last.
Pictures from the Chargers' last playoff win. That was the 2018 AFC wildcard game when they beat Baltimore 23-17. And then the following week they went up to New England and lost. Next week, Super Wild Card Weekend presented by Verizon. 2 games Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and then a Monday night game. We'll see where the Chargers fit in as they will go to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. It all will begin before the CBS game with our NFL Today crew.
I know the Chargers are hoping they get a Sunday game because they had that long travel, obviously from Los Angeles to Jacksonville, that they'd have to make on Thursday.
Week 3 rematch coming between the Chargers and Jaguars. And, you know, James, we saw the Jaguars a lot this year. Watched the game last night. That wasn't Trevor Lawrence's best performance. The defense really won him that game, but I think that could help Trevor Lawrence going into next week.
Well, I think the critical thing, you find a way to win, and that was a must-win game for him against a team, the Tennessee Titans, that had really owned that division for as long as any of those Jacksonville players had really been in the league. They had always known Tennessee Titans, they're the first-place team. Now we are the first-place team.
Daniel looking deep for Carter with nobody home today. Interesting game here with James Lofton and Gene Steratore. I'm Andrew Catalan. Before kickoff, when the Ravens lost, the Chargers were locked into the 5 seed in the AFC playoffs. They will go to Jacksonville next week. But Chargers head coach Brandon Staley has made the decision to play his starters for the majority of this game. And it may have proved costly as Mike Williams left with a back injury and was carted off the field. He has since pulled some of his starters, including Justin Herbert, as Latavius Murray runs across the 45 for 9 more yards.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Northwestern Mutual. and by T-Mobile. Coverage beyond the expected.
Back in Denver with James Lofton, I'm Andrew Catalan. Brandon Staley and the Chargers know they're headed to Jacksonville next week. Say we've seen enough and head off to Jacksonville. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes and a revealing interview with Prince Harry. Then it's a new East New York and NCIS Los Angeles, followed by another episode of East New York tonight on CBS. To midfield. All right, James, we saw the Jaguars a handful of times this year. What do you see next week, real quick? Chargers, Jaguars.
I see two young quarterbacks battling out for battles that could exist for the next 10 years to see who's top of the AFC, right behind maybe a guy like by the name of Patrick Mahomes.
Big thing for Los Angeles after this game, the health of Mike Williams, who suffered a back injury. Hopefully he's okay. The Broncos win their 5th game of the year and the first for interim head coach Jerry Rosburg. Again, the AFC playoff bracket next week, the 3 games in the AFC wildcard picture: Chargers, Jaguars, Ravens, Bengals, and Dolphins, Bills.